Yo, how you guys doing today, man? This your boy Surrender, man. Coming back at you with some more hot stuff, man. Hopefully you guys could go ahead and like, share the information, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to continue to push out helpful information about herbs and about your finances, man. We're trying to get you healthy and we're trying to get you wealthy. If you don't like those two things, turn the channel. If you do, stay tuned. All right, now as you guys can see, we're talking about velocity banking. All right, if you guys don't know anything about velocity banking, there's tons of information that is out here right now surfing the internet. So there's a plethora of information for you guys to kind of learn it, adapt to it, and start using it as a practical tool to allow you to cancel out any kind of debt that you got and then begin to build your credit so that you can start any kind of entrepreneurial aspirations or just to get your finances in order. All right, so this is what velocity banking is. Another word for velocity banking people sometimes use the term chunking. When you're chunking payments at particular debts to try to get them lowered and try to get them exasperated. All right, so now this is kind of how we want to try to do this for the common person so that they can get a very quick overview of how velocity banking works. Okay, and I'm not a financial guru or expert, but I have done this before and I know exactly how it works. Okay, so now there is a national average that the national average income of American today is $60,000. All right, so if you break 60,000 down over the course of a year, you'll come up with $5,000 income, right? So this particular family or household or individual has $5,000 coming inside or into their particular home or into their pockets. $5,000 coming in. And this person's expenses is $4,000, right? So they approximately have about $1,000 that they pretty much is what we call cash flow. Anything left over after the bills are paid and after everybody's gotten what they need to get as far as the bills are concerned, what do you have left over? Whatever you have left over, whether it's $1, 50 cents, $1,000, $100,000, that overflow is called cash flow. And that cash flow is how all of the rich people operate. They operate off of how much cash flow they got. Not off of how much income they're earning, not off of how much expenses they got, but they actually understand their wealth by two words: cash flow. So what we need to try to do with this velocity banking, I want you to understand this first before we go any deeper. This is how the wealthy live. They don't live off of income, they live off of cash flow. So we want to build this up. We want to get ideas of how we can generate things to generate cash flow. Whatever business ideas, whatever entrepreneurial aspirations you got, you want them to generate cash flow. All right? Excuse me. Get this little thing. Yeah. All right. So now we understand that the $1,000 left over for this particular person here, 1K, is cash flow. All right. And as we do this, we want to continue to build on this cash flow. All right. Now we also understand that this person has a credit card already, and let's say the credit card limit here is a $20,000 credit card limit. All right. And they're already $15,000 into that credit card. So right now, currently, this person has $15,000 worth of debt on the credit card. All right. And because of that $15,000 worth of debt, they also have a credit card payment of roughly about $500-600. We'll just use the number $500 for today. Okay. Just to say that that's their roundabout payment for the $15K that they are already in on this $20,000 credit card limit. All right. So this person right here has debt. Pretty sure they have car loans. So let's say you got a car note. Let's just put car loan. And let's just say this is $300, right? All right. So you see, but all of this except for the credit card debt is into the expenses. Okay. So except for the credit card, well, actually the credit card debt is there because of the payment. Now let me show you how to decrease this $15,000 worth of debt in a matter of months. Okay. This is how this goes. Now, what is the rule of thumb for velocity banking? Well, We understand that credit card debts or lines of credit, credit cards or lines of credit, not loans, but lines of credit, have what we call simple interest. All right? And they also have what we call revolving. They are revolving loans or lines of credit. Revolving. And the reason why you need to know simple interest and revolving is so you know the difference between lines of credit and loans. When you go to the bank and you ask them for a line of credit, that's different from a credit card. Although both of them kind of act the same way because both of them are simple interest and revolving, they act the same way. So what I mean to say when I say this is that you don't necessarily have to have a line of credit right now. If you got a credit card, you can still do velocity banking. Also, if you have a line of credit, you can still do velocity banking. So it's just not all about credit cards or line of credit, okay? Now, this is whole mystique that we shouldn't have credit cards. Well, I'm finna kill that today because for a lot of us, especially in the black community, we don't have any startup capital. We don't have any large lump sums of money that's sitting around to where when we do come up with this business idea that we can go ahead and implement it. So now how do we build that? Well, first, if you build credit, then you build capital. And now you can start using other people's money, like the bank's money, to finance your dreams, all right? To finance your dreams and to kill all of your debt. So this is how this is done. Credit cards, lines of credit use simple interest and revolving loans or revolving lines of credit mean that it just continues. It never ends. There's no end to it. As long as you pay it off, you continue to use the money. You pay it in, you use the money. Pay it in, use the money. On a loan, when you pay a loan, you pay in and that's it. There is nothing you can take out. Pay in, nothing out. All right, that's a loan. I pay into it, but I get nothing out of it. I can't go back and get this $300 card note and start using it again. Once I pay that $300 to that card note, that $300 is gone. Okay, everybody understand that? With a credit card, that's not true. If I pay $300 with the credit card, even though I paid the $300 is still there for me to use. That's the difference. All right, now velocity banking, this is how this works. A person is making $5,000 coming in and $4,000 going out. And in order to kill this debt, this is how we do this. You first want to direct deposit all of your funds going into the credit card. I first want to direct deposit all of my funds. If it's just me, I put all of a direct deposit into this credit card. If it's me and my wife, we combine our accounts and put all of our income into this credit card. And this is what will happen. You have a $15,000 balance. Let me write with a different pen so you guys can see this very good here. Give me a second. See if I can write with something different. Huh? Okay, let's use blue. All right, now you got $15,000 worth of debt. And the first month, you put in $5,000. All right? So, in $5K. All right? That brings that down to what? $10,000. All right? Then expenses come in. Right? And when expenses come in, you got to pay your expenses. There's nowhere around your expenses. That goes back up to $4K. Now you at $14,000. You see how that go? 15, 14. Then you come back again the next month with your other 5. Now you're down to 9K. All right. It goes back up 4. 13K. You're using everything. Even the money that's in your savings account, you're putting everything to get this credit card debt down. All right. Now, understand that as we do this, you're not only diminishing debt, you're building credit. All right, so now come back down 5, right? So you come back down 5 here, and you're at 8K. All right, back up 4, 12. Back down 5K, and then you're down to 7K. All right. Now y'all kind of can see how this is going. Now right here, you've already gotten that debt down to $5,000 within, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is your 6-month mark. At your 6-month mark, you're already gotten that debt down to 5K. It's already down to 5K. Let's keep on. Let's see how many more we got. So 5K is the 6-month mark. I'm running out of board. So then let's just start at the 5K. And remember that you're at 6 months when you reach 5K in, right? 5K. Then you got to go up because you didn't pay your expenses yet. So you go back up 9K, right? You come back down with that 5 to 4K. Back up 8K. Back down to 3K. Back up to 7K. Back down to 2K. Uh-oh, we're getting close. Back up to 6K. Back down to $1,000. Your last expense, put it back up to 5K. And you know this month you're going to debt it right here. All right, 6 months was that. So 7, 8, 9, 10. It took you 10 months to kill $15,000 worth of debt. 10 months. It didn't take you your whole lifetime. It took you 10 months. Now, what happened in them 10 months? First of all, the credit card company and the banking company, whoever you got your credit card company, they was like, wow, this guy is literally doing the doggone thing here, okay? They're trying to literally kill this debt and get it paid off, right? So you've shown a very, very good payment history over the course of time. And now you're starting to say, hey, okay, I want to get this down. You're doing this because you're doing this almost every time you get a direct deposit. So it's just chunking it. It's chunking it. It's chunking it. After 10 months, you no longer have this credit card debt. And guess what they're going to want to do? Remember that this was a $20,000 limit that you were just 15K into. So therefore, they may raise the roof on the limit. Say, hey man, you paid off that debt, this, that, and the third, anything you want, you can do that. Now you can go back and say, well, okay, let's increase my limit to say $25,000. Now you have $25,000 at your disposal with no debt. Okay. Now what happens is over the 10-month period, you not only cancel out this debt, but because you're doing a direct deposit, this cancels out that $500 a month. You're putting more than $500 onto the account, so they're not even going to worry about charging you $500 when you're putting $5,000, okay? And over the course of time, car loans are normally 5-6 years. So let's say you do this. Now, I'll give you an understanding of why we do this. You can do this for a credit card debt. You can do this to pay off car debt, car loan, because you got to understand something right there. You now realize that it takes you 10 months to clear $15,000. It takes you 10 months to clear $15,000 at this particular rate you're at right now, right? So then that's a good understanding. So when I want to go back, let's say if I want to buy if I got a car loan, but my car note, I've been had it for a few years. Let's say this is $10,000 and I know I can pay 15. Why would I continue to pay interest on this particular loan for the next 5-6 years when I can pay for my car off completely within 10 months, within a year? It doesn't make any sense, right? So it would be better for you to understand that if I can knock out $15,000 in 10 months, let me go ahead and write a check for my car, clear that. Let's say you had about $15,000 left over. So you go right back in. All right, I'm gonna cancel out this car, and I want to get a $15,000 check from the bank to pay off my car, or $15,000 credit card. However you're gonna do it, you're gonna pay off your car, and then you're gonna do these 10 months to pay back off that $15,000. Okay, and then that's your car note. All right. So I just showed you credit card and car note how to pay off. But the real big thing to this is paying off your mortgage. Paying off your mortgage, okay? So this is how you do that. You get down to zero on the credit card, right? Now, what I tell people is when you really want to go into real estate and mortgage, paying down your mortgage and things of that nature, that you probably want to go and try to fill out something for lines of credit. Now, the great thing about what you've just done here is that you built that credit up to you're going to probably be okay with trying to get a line of credit here, okay? And most banks, especially like Navy, Federal, things of that nature, will give you a line of credit. Based on credit score and things of that nature, you can pretty much get one. It's not a real exhaustive type of investigation. You can pretty much, if you got good credit score and you got good payment history, you can get a line of credit, all right? And you would have shown that pattern through doing the velocity banking. So you go here, you say, hey, let me get a $10,000 line of credit, $15,000 line of credit, whatever you can get, right? But let's just say that they said, okay, we'll give you $15,000, right? Line of credit. And you say, okay, cool. What do you do with that money? Now that my debt is paid off, now I paid off my car loans and all of that. Now what I've done, and I also too wanted to show you the cash flow. So when you paid off that credit card debt, the $500 transferred to here, back into your pockets, right? When you paid off the car loan, that $300 came back into your pocket, right? So now this is the debt, the credit card debt you had. That's the car loan. And your next debt, we'll just say you probably got a $1,200 mortgage. And that's the next one. But you haven't canceled this out yet, so it's still over here. So as we speak right now, you have raised your cash flow $1,800. Right now you got $1,800 worth of cash flow. Okay? So you're building that cash flow up. Remember, this is what we want to try to build up. Now, what's taken from you now? Your home. $1,200 worth of mortgage is now over here. And we need to try to get this off of our expenses and into our cash flow. All right? So when you have a zero balance here, you go and you ask your bank for a $15,000 check, and you begin to start writing a $15,000 check, $15,000 check to mortgage company for principal only. And you need to make sure you specify principal only. All right. You're going to write a $15,000 check to your mortgage company, telling them that you want to take $15,000 off of the principal and the principal only. All right. Now, what this will do is this will begin to start affecting that amortized interest rate that you got on that loan, on that house note. Because the best interest rate to have is not an amortized, but it's a simple interest. So what we're doing is switching out amortized interest for simple interest. If I leave my house just the way it is, the amortized interest on that will probably have me paying double. Right now I live in a $225,000 home. Probably by the time I get finished with it, based on my amortized plan, I would have spent about almost $500,000 on a $225,000 home in interest. Come on, man. You're basically making me pay double for the house. Okay? Now, how do we kill this? Simple interest. So instead of going out of the amortized home loan, you're going to go out of the line of credit that is simple interest that you know you can do and get done with without having to have all that interest paid into something. Okay? So how do we do that? We write the $15,000 check to our mortgage company for principal only. And what will happen is over a course of time, and I will show you this, over probably in the first 4 years of anybody, first 4 or 5 years of anybody homeowner, they say that in the first 5 to 6 years, people start to refinance, which basically means you just start back over. And so people always tend to stay on the front side of their mortgage. How many people do you know paid off their home? Not so many. Most of us stay on the front side of the mortgage, never being able to get to that back end. Well, in the first 4 or 5 years of paying your mortgage, you're paying almost $40,000 to $50,000 in interest. Go look at your amortized loan plan. In the first 5 years here, I probably would be paying $40,000 to $50,000 in interest and only about 10 to 15 in the actual principal of my loan. And this is why buying off a house and all of that and owning a home and trying to purchase it and pay it off is so difficult. The interest rates are incredible. Now you might say, well, now they gave me a low interest rate when I first got the home. I'm about 5 or 6%. But over time, that ends up being way more than the line of credit or the credit card that's 20%. You might say, well, hold on, the credit card or the line of credit interest is 20%. How that be lower? Because this is going to take you a shorter period of time to dissolve. The smaller number at 4% is going to take you over 30 years. Over 30 years. So you got to understand that, okay? Just because the number is smaller don't mean it's better. And just because the number is bigger don't mean it's worse. So we're going to put this amortized loan and we're going to start putting it into our line of credit or our credit card, and we're going to start paying through simple interest. And what happens is you'll pay that $15,000 off in 10 months, right? And then you'll go back, do it again, and you'll go back, do it again, and you'll go back and do it again, and you'll go back and do it again, and you'll see that almost probably for this particular person, because it's taking them 10 months to do it, it may take this person about 10 years, if that, to pay off their mortgage. 10 years. After 10 years, now the plan that I really have is literally 7 years. It's actually 7 years. But some of us may take a little longer than others based on how we're able to pay it off. If you're able to pay off 10 to 15,000 within 6 months, then you be starting to get down to the 6 and 7 years. But if it takes you almost a year to pay off $15,000, then it may take you a little longer, but no more than 10 years. Now, you paid that off. In 10 years, you paid off this $1,200. Now, the $1,200 is over here. And now, instead of you having $1,800 in cash flow, you now have $3,000 in cash flow. And look, I haven't put your raise in here over that time period of 10 years. I'm pretty sure you're going to get a raise. I haven't put anything about increasing this number. So this is just, if you stay right here, which we know never really happens, you're either going to go up, you're going to get more, you're going to do better. But even if that doesn't never happen, I'm giving you the plan. So now that's $3,000 right there. I paid off my home. Now what do I do once I paid off my home? I take another $15,000 and then I go get me a rental property. Okay? And when I go get that $15,000 rental property, I buy a house within $120K. You keep it up on $120K under. You give a $15,000 down payment. So you only got a $105,000 house, right? And then you start velocity banking that joker. And while you're renting it out, remember that the people who are renting out your home, who are renting the home, are paying you, right? So they're paying you and they're helping you take down that loan. Just like you did your house, you're going to do every other house you buy. Okay? And over a course of time and period, what you're going to see, and this is what I want you to see, that once you get that first rental home, you're going to go take out a HELOC, home equity line of credit, on your first rental, not your home. Do not take out a HELOC on your home once you do this. But when you get your first rental property, you go take out a HELOC. They're going to give you that $105,000. When they give you, well, they're going to give you 80% of it, right? So let's say they give you $90,000. How many homes, if you're going to put down $15,000, how many homes can you buy with $90,000? You see where I'm going with that? Let's say roughly 6. So you got now 6 homes under your belt. And this begins to increase. As you pay off each home, let's just say each $100,000 home is about $1,000 per month. So you got 6 homes, you might well add $6,000 into that. And now you're talking about $9,000 to $10,000 a month cash flow. You can retire now. You can leave your job now. You can walk away. Everything is okay. All right. So understand velocity banking. Direct deposit all your money into your credit card or your line of credit and pay off that debt. See how long it takes you to pay off that debt, and then keep writing checks for that amount. Keep paying off your debt and keep building your wealth. This has been your boy Surrender, man. You got any questions, concerns, or comments? Feel free to leave this on the YouTube channel, Leafofvitalessentials.com, where we got all the best detoxing herbs and essential oils, scrubs, soaps, and everything else and more, man. And follow your boy on Facebook. Follow your boy on Instagram. I'm your boy. I love y'all, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Peace.